especially for our girl Saraya. Give her a hand for some sweet Saraya. I didn't know this was her son Darian over here. Big Darian over there. My man.
Then.
Good evening.
Hi.
How
are you? I'm sorry for the late start.
You know, a lot of this late that you're talking about, it's filling the air with smell, and it's a foul smell right now. This late,
I used gum. I some gum this morning.
Late is foul.
What?
This late is foul.
What?
We're not talking about your breath. I think it's late.
Well, yes, your lateness is foul.
When I'm late, it will be foul.
Okay.
But I wasn't late. What time was it you said I walked in here?
7:59 and 48 seconds.
Exactly. And what time does the show start?
8 o'clock.
Right. So that means I'm not late.
But we couldn't start on time.
No, we could start.
But we couldn't start on time.
I was actually ready.
As
soon as I sat down, I was ready.
I can't. Excuse me. Is this thing on? Are we listening? What? I can't hear you. This sounds like bullshit. Oh, okay. All right. Never mind. Okay.
When one's busy tooting one's horn.
Mm-hmm. Well, when one's busy being on time for the show that one shares with another one.
And all that is fine.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not late.
Okay. So, good evening.
Hi, y'all.
Today is Wednesday, January 15th, 2020. I'm Dominion.
And I am Epic.
And welcome to episode 78 of the BGKH Show with Dominion and Epic. The show, well, first of all, let's say that we are exclusively on Vox Power 373. BGKH, what does that stand for? Because, it's the new year, people might not know what that means.
I thought it stand for baking because it's hot in this studio.
Baking.
It's hot in this joint. What is going on? It's hot. But
It's warm.
It's warm. It's tropical. It's climate.
You going through the change?
Maybe I am going through the change. Maybe I'm having some sort of psychological change in my life.
Yeah, you are going. What?
Well, it is a little hot. I'm not.
What's the matter, Pedro?
Listen, Pedro is going through all types of psychological changes. Yes, that's what Pedro is going through right now. But because us these black folks, we like heat, so
hey,
that's
Marcus.
what the B's for. So we're gonna say the blacks for the heats and all that good stuff. So that's what we're talking about today.
The blacks.
The blacks.
Okay, what about the G?
The G is for the gays. It's just too goddamn hot, honey.
Yay, honey.
It's
Listen,
hot.
I'm masculine. I'm masculine.
I'm not luxuriating in this heat. I'm not.
Yes. So the K.
The K means that while it's hot, we can still make it kinky. So
we can make it hot.
Yeah, what that means is, we can still get this kinky stuff on in this heat. So that hasn't affected anything. So we can. So in MAL weekend is coming up, so we're gonna talk about that in a second.
Rural kinky.
Right. So, but and then the H, besides the heat, it means that we are all
human, mostly.
Yeah. So.
All right. So, how was your week?
My week was pretty good. I really can't complain too much.
Yeah. Mainly because no one cares.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Had a couple of interesting conversations today. And
okay, just make
are
sure.
We on? Yeah. Okay, I hear us. All right. Yeah, we had a couple of interesting conversations this week. Had an interview and
conversation with family.
No. No, we not.
You won't fuck with.
We not bring that up. But it's just some interesting work conversations this week, and so it was pretty good. But more than that, I had some more interesting conversations with people just in general about the upcoming weekend and all the stuff that's going on. So I'm kind of excited. So, but it's been a good week. How was yours?
This week was quiet mostly. I had a couple of conversations with some long-standing friends, and I am I'm not one of those people who thinks, I'm not having a midlife crisis because I'm happy with, a lot of things in, my world. But I feel like this is 2020 is going to be a year of refocusing energies.
Okay.
Instead of focusing them outward, I'm going to focus more inward.
This is very zen. I feel like
it is.
I see
Nam yo ho renge kyo, 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 nam yo ho renge kyo.
I mean, that's kind of what I feel.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Okay.
But no, I have a book that I want to write. I want to get back to blogging, and I feel like I've poured too much of myself into people who continue, this is going to sound crazy, but I have continued to pour myself into people who are, one, not deserving, and two, continue to be thirsty. So they, as much as I pour, they continue to drink, but then I'm never getting anything back from them. So I'm going to refocus my efforts to those whom I consider friends, and the rest can kick rocks. The fact that we may be in the same organizations or have the same circle of friends, that's fine. So, like, here's a good example. Cookies and Cocktails isn't going to be open to everybody anymore. And some people are going to be like, when I do put out the invite, I'm going to say, it's not, if you aren't actually on the invite, you shouldn't show up. So, well, because you know what, no shade, but I noticed that other people have events, and I invite everybody to my events, but everybody don't invite me to theirs. So listen, I said it last week, and I'm gonna say it this week. I'm gonna give you back the same energy that you give me. So if you give me the casual high energy, then that's all you're going to get back. I'm not going to be, sweating in the kitchen, making red wine, hot chocolate, and which was bomb, by the way.
Listen, I don't know which one of you bitches did not get some of that cider.
And cider and black eyed peas and meatballs and stuff.
All I'm here to tell you is
put out that kind of effort for hoes
that
that don't put out that effort for me.
Was the answer. So
hey, it was the question and the answer.
So it was actually really good.
Yes.
Not that it's not good every other year, but this year was exceptionally good.
Yeah, and I think what I did was, the girls were starting to get entirely too fucked up at New Year's Eve. And for me, New Year's is not a raucous party. It's supposed to be like
we did have broken glass.
But that was entirely different.
But it's still like
we did have a broken glass.
It's like there seems to be a holiday party. It's not a holiday party without you having a broken glass.
Right.
Like for the past
3
2, 3. Yeah, about 3. Yeah, it's been broken glass.
It's always been broken glass.
But okay.
But them champagne flutes, they're like 6 for $4 from IKEA. So it's not like it's a Wedgwood crystal or nothing like that.
But shout out to our brother who stood there when it happened.
He was like, whoop. So what happened, it's New Year's, right? It is actually right after New Year's, and we are raising a glass, and he didn't realize that he was under the fan, which was on, because even though it was 5 degrees outside with all them people in the house, it was cold, so it was keeping the air circulation. So he raises his glass, and it immediately shatters as it hits the blade.
Yeah.
Glass all over the place.
Yeah.
The one lucky thing is that nobody got any in like their eye or anything.
Yes.
But it was completely fine. He was mortified, and I was
he was. But it was kind of funny because he was holding it like.
He was like, because it was like a half second of like, what happened?
Right, and it was like, what? It's like, okay. But anyway.
So, yeah, but yeah, so I'm going to refocus some energy, get back to doing some of the things. I'm going to start doing more of the things that I want to do exclusively and not think about
others
or how that impacts, because I feel like I've made too many of my decisions based on everyone else. Like, listen, everyone knows about our involvement in Onyx, but there's been times where I'm like, oh, well, I can't go out of town because there's this Onyx function. Well, everybody else feels fine leaving town. Well, and so while I'm not going to just get ghost, if there's something I want to do, I'm like, well, I guess I just can't come to this thing. So, anywho.
Then there's that.
So, yeah. So, and then I am, and so part of that was having a conversation with a couple of our brothers, who I've known forever. And, they were feeling the same thing that, this year is going to be about refocusing our efforts inward and not necessarily reestablishing, because that's the wrong word, because there was never anything wrong with the friendship between us and the other people. But it's just tightening those bonds, that we've all had. Because, I realize that, this is my 20th MAL. I have been to Onyx. I have been to MAL every year since 2000. Damn. Without fail. Damn. Yeah. The first couple of years, I mean, I was just one of those, hey, when are you guys having MAL again? Or, I mean, not quite like that, but I only was just there and I would show up. But then over the years, my involvement got more and more into here we are. So
I'm trying to think of what number this would be for me. It's probably on the I think it's more like 8, 6, 7, 8-ish, something like that. Because and then I couldn't even say consistently, but 6, 7, 8-ish.
Yeah.
Something like that. But anyway, well, 20 years. Okay, you were. That's a whole nother pen. That's a whole nother.
I know. I feel like a veteran. I feel like I should retire from MMA
like
at this point, but I shan't.
That will be a knot. That will be a knot.
You know what else I'm looking forward to? Because I'm staying in the Onyx Suite tomorrow night, and then moving to my room next door. But there is a huge soaking tub, and I have a bath bomb. So I am looking forward to luxuriating in this tub. It is a big tub, so I can definitely. I won't be in. Above a certain size for any man, let alone a big man, but any man over about 5'7", a tub is just a tight affair. So, like, when you see these movies when it's a couple in the tub, I was like, that dude is super uncomfortable.
And she is super tiny, and he is super tiny. That's the only way they can get this clip in this tub.
So I'm looking forward to getting in this huge tub, letting this bath bomb. I couldn't think of the word. Drop and explode and soak and just luxuriate. And then wash it all off because I don't want to walk around MAL smelling like
daisies.
Right.
Smelling like a daisy. Right.
Just everything.
Yeah.
Like an orchid. Anyway, so that's that.
But we did go check out Like a Boss though.
Yes.
Which was actually
it was very predictable, and there was no like, oh, this happens. No, it was not that movie. If you was going expecting a surprise, then you were
shit out of luck.
Right. But it was funny. There were a couple of times Tiffany Haddish is a fucking fool, and just the interaction between her and Rose, I can't remember what her name is. Rose,
I can't remember.
The white woman, and Salma Hayek.
Let's be clear. Let's stop. Let's just give us 5 minutes on Salma Hayek. Salma Hayek looked good.
Amazing.
Listen. First of all, I thought she was the most beautiful vampire ever in From Dusk Till Dawn. Number one, like that. And anybody who knows me, I love anything vampire werewolf. She was the most beautiful vampire ever. But when that whhore changed, she was absolutely.
You do smell good. I'm like, it does smell.
Listen, you know what this is? This is Purex
Suavitel
Crystal. It's Purex Crystal with the fragrance. What's the fragrance? It's like something clean, but it has like crystals in it. But then I also have my little my extra crystals that I put into the bath water. I mean into the
washing machine.
Into the washing machine. That is what takes it over top. And it's like,
I'm sitting here like right. I'm sitting here like.
So it's like, and I'm trying to, like, I just washed it, so I took all the stuff out so I'm like, okay, wait. But anyway, thanks. Listen, shout out to Purex. If y'all want to send some more stuff, send some stuff on over to me. But so Salma Hayek was actually gorgeous. And, so again, Tiffany, this script with Tiffany, like when she does stuff, like it's funny to me, but like you said, it's very predictable. And I was kind of like, I was just waiting for the funny. And it wasn't that it's not that it wasn't funny, but it was like, I knew what her funny was going to be. Like I
knew. That's what I said. So it wasn't a surprise.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, it's not that she's only done 2 movies because she's done some like serious movies. She was in that movie where they were like Irish, like the Irish mobsters, but that was like a very serious role.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that.
That wasn't a joke
did.
at all. But apparently, even though the movie wasn't like an Oscar contender, apparently she did good as a dramatic actress. But if you saw Girls Trip, you saw everything that she gave in this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Which was funny.
Yeah.
But you was like, all right, we've already
done
seen
that.
this.
We've done that. We've been there, done that. Like, let's go. Like, all right.
I don't want to see the formula. Tiffany Haddish. Just put her, she's like Robin Williams, just put her in. That's what she kind of is like. She's kind of Robin Williams esque. I mean, more control because Robin Williams was just
he was off the charts,
off the chain. But
when
it's
they
still
did,
that sort of natural
but
ability, just like the natural shit that they do can make
hilarious.
you laugh.
But when they went off most comedians when they do dramatic roles are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Robin Williams, there was a movie he played in
The Night Watchman or something like that.
or something like that.
Yeah.
He was crazy.
Right, where he was like, it was like a Kodak film booth.
I was like, come on!
Yeah,
I'm like,
he
you
was
crazy ass.
insane.
It was a good movie though. But yeah. So
Elimination.
maybe she will. What's up, bro? Maybe she will have another dramatic role and be.
Oh, and I see Ignition 7 Onyx, who was celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday, Ignition!
Oh, that's right, Ignition. Will we get to see you at MAL? Will we get to blow out the candle? Ignition. Are we blowing out the candle?
Okay.
Anyone?
Right.
Any volunteers?
Right.
Okay. All right.
So what else? So I have been hearing good things about AJ and the Queen.
So
I haven't watched it yet, so
okay.
it's on my queue.
So let me talk about predictable. So while I
was not expecting it to be, sort of earth shattering.
Well, no, not earth shattering, but it was okay. I think I'm probably on the okay side of this, and you'll probably watch it and have the same reaction I have with Tiffany right now. So Rue
was very Rue.
Yeah, he was very Rue, and it was very much like I'm watching the talk show.
Was it Star Booty Rue?
No, Star Booty Rue would have been funny. Would have been funny.
Okay.
But this was more like Rue on the talk show having that moment where the girls have that breakthrough, and she's like, listen, you have to do this, that, and other. It's like the Oprah Iyanla Von Zant moment and throughout the whole movie for him. And I'm kind of like,
okay, in drag.
No, yes and no.
Okay.
He's navigating because he's playing this character that's living in New York City that met this guy, and together they had been together for like 4 or 5 years. They're about to open a nightclub, and what happens is once they get all the funding, get everything straight. They just get their credit cards, and he decides to give them this Amex. They have like $100,000 to go and sign a lease on this particular building, and then all of a sudden he runs off, or he can't find the guy, and then that's the whole premise of the movie. He's trying to find the guy's then looking for him. Then there is the little part of AJ, who is played by this young lady, and I can't remember her name.
Boy.
That's part of the story as well. But she's a young lady that is running like on the streets and homeless, and then she's searching for her mom, and so there's a couple different backstories. One of the other main characters is one of Rue's good friends that's blind. Well, he's not a drag queen. Well, I guess he is a drag queen, but he's one of his friends that's blind, and so he's kind of the comic relief as well. Okay. So there's some comedy and some stuff that goes on in there.
Kind of like Leslie Uggams in what's the movie with Ryan Reynolds, the superhero movie?
It's sort of kind of Deadpool, yeah.
Deadpool,
and so it's so kind of like a combination, that piece of Deadpool, that little bit of Tu Wong Fu kind of traveling, Priscilla Queen in the desert, but with a lifelong Iyanla Von Zant moment. But it was okay. So I binge watched all of it, and it was okay. It was like, I could have done something else, but it was okay.
So, Queer Eye. I just can't get behind Queer Eye because I never cared for Karamo. I didn't care for him when he was on The Real World. And he and I went to the same school. We both went to FAM. But something about him irks my entire spirit.
Karamo is fine. The show is interesting to me.
I miss the old Queer Eye because I'm not really interested in all this life breakthrough moments. I really just want to see them come up with this fake fabulous new apartment that this hoe is never going to, or new house that this person is never going to maintain. This whole new persona, where he goes from being a slob to clean shaven and fabulous that he's never going to maintain.
There's a lot of that, but it's pretty good. And there's always one episode that gets me, and goddamn it, there was one episode that got me in Queer Eye. So I'm sitting here and fucking adjusting the damn ceiling fans and shit, trying to figure out what's wrong with the damn filters and shit, the dusters. But it was okay. Now, there's also a Queer Eye in Japan, which I haven't even had the chance to actually look at as of yet.
So, I don't want to watch Queer Eye, so I don't want to watch Queer Eye in Japan.
It's out there, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. I also just got word today that HBO they gave a date for the 4th season of Insecure.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
I haven't watched the first 3 seasons. So.
For all my Insecure fans, please. The date is it's going to be dropping on April 12th.
Yes.
And it says that the season 4 is going to follow the main characters in the aftermath of the decisions they made in the last season. Issa pursues a passion project she actually cares about. Molly navigates a real relationship for the first time. Lawrence figures out what leveling up means for him, and we see the effects of Tiffany's new baby on the dynamic of the friend group. Along the way, we'll see these characters evaluating relationships, both new and old, in an effort to figure out who and what comes with them in this next phase of their lives. So I'm looking forward to it. And I also want to see what the hell happened at the end of it and how this thing's going to wrap up with Lawrence and everybody else. So I want to see how they're going to roll. And also the new guy, well, not the new guy, the last boyfriend that she was actually sleeping with, the guy that she slept with on the Ferris wheel. Right. So
that's not the dude is that the same dude where they broke into that mansion and fucked in that mansion in Baldwin Hills? Maybe that might have been like a season 3 episode.
I think.
And then like the dude walked in, the owner of the house actually walked in because maybe she used to live there or he used to live there or something.
I think that was Lawrence. But
these people had just met, and I know Lawrence was like a long-standing.
Yeah,
character.
Lawrence was I don't remember. I got to go back and see what that one was.
So
but
yeah,
that sounds very Joanna Scammerish, though.
I mean,
so
I would love to go butt ass naked in somebody's pool in Beverly Hills. But they should just be glad that they did it in Baldwin Hills
as opposed
to Beverly Hills, because they would have got shot on sight. At least the black owner of that house, get the fuck off my property.
Well,
not with a shotgun.
We shall see. So,
right.
But anyway, so I'm looking forward to that. April 12th. I also want to remind you guys that Sabrina. That's going to be coming out this month, and that is going to be on the 24th. So look out for that on Netflix as well. So I also got news that American Horror Story has been signed on. Instead of it ending after 10 seasons, they got renewed for 3 more seasons.
Oh, good.
So we're looking forward to 13 seasons. So, but some people are kind of looking forward to it end. Like they want it to end at like 10 seasons and bow out gracefully. But it's been
yeah, because the last season that I watched, which was what was it, Apocalypse? What was that name?
That was Apocalypse, but last one was 1984 that just went off.
Yeah, I skipped 80. I skipped 84.
But you still need to watch it for some of the hilarity, though. Okay. I swear to God, for the hilarity.
84 there were some good moments, but it felt disjointed to me.
So some of that was intentional, but you have to see it to see how it actually fits, and it very much falls into a cheesy 1984 movie.
Well, no, I'm talking about Apocalypse. I've heard 84 was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, yes. Well, with Apocalypse, yes, some of that is intentional.
Yes.
So
So, oh no.
Yeah, we have some very sad news.
The Crew Club will close in February after 25 years. So, for those of you all who don't know, the Crew Club, which is operated as a gym, sauna, and bathhouse for gay men in the nation's capital for 25 years, will close its doors for good at its Logan Circle area location on February 29th, according to its founder and co-owner, D.C. Allen. Mr. Allen told The Blade that he and his husband, Ken Flick, had sold the building in 2003. Oh, excuse me, they bought the building in 2003 after renting it for the first 8 years in business, and they've decided to retire after signing a contract to sell the building in 2016. So blah, 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 blah. Yada, yada, yada. So
lots of memories down the drain. Literally.
I've been there 3 times, all within the last year. It was compared to some of the other places that I like more of a free-for-all. So I like places like Slammers in Fort Lauderdale and Los Angeles, where it ain't no pretense of standing around chit-chatting and bullshit.
Ooh, because that gets on my nerves. The girls want to come in and have a conversation. Bitch, move
right,
out
I was
the
like,
way.
We're fucking.
You are not here for this. Just move out
in the dark room, and these hoes are sitting there talking about.
Oh my God, what you doing afterwards?
Right. So are we going to have?
Are we going to
what? So what we going to do? What we going to do?
Go get some chicken. We going to Denny's. Like, what we going to do?
Do that in the front room.
Yeah, go to the other room and do that.
Right, and or people that just want to watch and look, I want a fucking orgy platform where dudes is just lined up and you can either get dug out by 1 million people or dig out 1 million people and it's all out in the open, that's what that, because I not only get off on the sex itself, but the energy of all of that. And when everybody is like, let's go, and every behind closed doors, and I'm just like, it didn't really do it for me. I mean, just to be clear, it wasn't that I didn't have fun.
Well, because
it wasn't the beautiful experience that I was looking for. Now, some of that might be because, when people talk about it back in the day, this was before you could, dial a date, and, instead of going, back in the day, you didn't really have much choice but to go to the bathhouse and, meet a date. And now you could just meet a date and invite them over to your house.
DoorDash and have somebody come.
Right.
So, yeah.
Dish dash, Dick dash.
Dick dash, DoorDash, whatever you want to call it. But, it was, it's closing February the 29th. Mm-hmm. And so I may or may not, for research purposes, have to go back
you want to,
just to kind of see if my name is still kind of scratched on the wall.
Memories like the corners of my mind, misty watercolored memories of the way we were.
And so anyway, so best of luck to you guys with that. And
and listen, people are like, but why they gotta close? I was like, listen, it is not their personal responsibility to provide you dick for the rest of their life. No. He said he's 63.
No, not at all.
His husband is 70. His husband has had some health challenges, and he has some health challenges. Girl, they done made their money. They done sold that building in Logan Circle for a cute little grip.
Yes,
they're going to take that money and, if it was me, retire to Fort Lauderdale and have a cute little time for the rest of their life. And, listen.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I'm here for it.
So thank you for everything that you gave to the community.
Thank you for being a friend.
And let's just be clear. Mm-hmm. Yes, they were operating a bathhouse and stuff, but they were actually very active in the gay community and donated and participated in the community. So, I mean, they've done theirs. I mean, they're not going to, you can't just ride people until they die. I mean, people deserve an opportunity to just live their life and sit still and do nothing. And if they just want to sit down and do nothing for the rest of their lives, more power to them. So,
I'm here for it.
If you feel that strongly about it, get your coins together, get your girls together, and, buy up a building.
Buy up a building and make it happen. Right. Like, we'll support you.
I'll come.
Yeah, we'll support you.
I'll come.
So, this weekend is MAL weekend, and so we have
What is MAL?
MAL
or MAL? And let's just start right there. It is MAL,
which is an abbreviation for Mid-Atlantic Leather.
It is not MAL.
Weekend.
That's like people, I can't even think of an example, but that just points out that you are new. It's MAL, not MAL.
Mid-Atlantic Leather Weekend 2020. Mm-hmm. So this year is going to be, as it has been for the past couple of years, going to be at the Hyatt Regency, Capitol Hill, Northwest. There are tons of things that are going on. In fact, all this week, there are events that have been popping up on Facebook and timelines. And one of our friends of the show and friend in the community, Mr. DC Eagle, had posted some stuff up as well about all the events that were actually going on in the city.
Let me just pause and say that, Justin has only been Mr. DC Eagle for a couple of months. But, this isn't a swipe at any, the level of involvement of anyone else. But Justin has been vocal about making sure that everybody feels a part of and connected to the community. So he has used his page and his whatever social media capital he has as much to share and push other people and their events as his.
Yes.
So, he certainly has been like, Mr. DC Eagle is doing this, but he also has publicized our events and other people's events, and he's really leaned heavily into I'm a servant of the community. So, shout out to him. So, I personally am there to help you, when you need it. So.
Yeah, so thank you for
Don't
posting
take that
this.
the wrong way because I know you too. I
know
you.
So let me say this. I am also here personally to help you if you need anything. And you can take that however you want.
really you can too. So anyway, you were saying.
But so he posted some things up here about things that are going on this particular week. And there's tons of things. Like I said, the event started on Wednesday. There's stuff going on tonight. Like there's stuff at Former's Bar.
Hold on one second. Hell yeah, Special, I'm retiring to Fort Lauderdale. And you and Kai are going to live right next door to me and my slave. And Epic is going to live right next door to us.
Listen.
And we're going to have like a whole Melrose style complex. So are you going to be Heather? No, I'll be Heather Locklear. So I get to be the bitch that comes in and saves the show.
Listen, I'm the bitch that's on the food stamp side because I can't listen, y'all. I'm on the food stamp.
I mean, you could be living. You could be like
be
like what was the broke chick that they let live there that didn't really have no money? The blonde chick.
That would be me.
Okay, yeah, you could be that person.
That would be me. I'll be that person. But
I'm sorry. Anyway,
so we have a couple things that are going on. Like I said, there's tons of stuff, and if you go on Justin's page, you'll see this listing of things. But just to give you guys
Mr. DC Eagle 2020 page on Facebook.
So just to give you an idea of what's going on. So on Friday we also have the Onyx meet and greet, which is going to be in the Onyx.
So you mentioned Thursday that the.
Yeah, well, no, let me go.
Yeah,
back.
but go in order though. Why you gonna say Friday?
Said we had some stuff going on
Thursday.
tonight on Thursday. You were talking. And I said we had some stuff at Former's Bar.
But did you say what it was?
I said Former's Bar, but then you cut me off. So
I'm sorry. So all right. So
that's okay.
Start with Thursday and then move forward. No. Please.
So Thursday, there's Former's Bar night with Centaurs and Mr. and Mrs. DC Eagle at the DC Eagle, which is tonight. There's also Shirtless Thursday at the Green Lantern, which is
tomorrow.
I'm sorry, tomorrow night. Excuse me.
See, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but then I was just trying to help you out.
I'm getting confused because I have a lot of stuff going on.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So tonight is the DC MAL kickoff at JR's Bar, number one. Mm-hmm. There's a market crash at MAL, which is at the big board.
Never heard of that place.
Don't know where that is. But again, if you go onto Justin's page, you can see all the links to all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Then also on Thursday, which is tomorrow, the MAL Formers Bar night with the Centaurs and the Mr. and Mrs. DC Eagle at the DC Eagle. Mm-hmm. We also have Shirtless Thursday at the Green Lantern from 10 to 11, which is always cute. So basically, you come on in, take your shirt off between 10 and 11, you get free drinks. And
then, I don't know if they're still doing it, but it used to be Shirtless 10 to 11, and then 12 to 1 or 12 to 12:30. It was like men in underwear or jocks drink for free.
So it was a second hour or something like that.
If you participated in both, you get good fucked up.
Yeah, you really can. So, but please tip your bartenders because they're
here to work.
Yeah, please tip your bartenders.
To make money. So.
And then on Friday is actually at the hotel is the Onyx meet and greet. Mm-hmm. So please stop through for all of those who want to come to the Onyx suite. It's going to be from 6 to 9 p.m. On Friday. We also have Bear Happy Hour at DC Bear Crew at Uproar. And I'm just going to read a couple of these, not all of them. We also have Impact, an event presented by the Highway TNT Men at the Hyatt Regency as well. We also have Heroes and Villains Showdown Superhero Party at the Hyatt Regency.
Yeah, one of our associates, Idris Pup Indigo, is sponsoring that.
That's right. So make sure you come and support that. Let's see. We have a MAL Weekend Matinee Pervert with Sindel and Flavio Zarza at Karma DC. We have Hummer at DC. We also have the drag show Birds of Prey with Boomer Banks at the DC Eagle. So all that's going to be going on Friday. What else? We have Furball, DC Fetish Gear at the DC Eagle. And then on...
You got all this shit going on Friday?
Right. And then on Saturday, we also have the MAL 2020 Cigar Social at Shelly's Back Room. We also have the annual Onyx Gear Show and our cocktail party and gear show that's going to be going on at the Hyatt between the hours of 2 and 6. So please come through. We're going to be raising money. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're raising money to support VSAC. And so you'll be able to bid. I'm sorry, thank you, VSC. You're going to be bidding on auction items that we have, and you'll have the chance to take them right off of the models, which will be Onyx Men, Onyx Women, title holders. We'll have lots of things that we'll do, and we will have our MC extraordinaire, Dominion, talking on the mic. And so
trying to come up with a Luke.
Well, but I mean, you've locked in your Luke. You need to make sure you brand that and bring it back.
Right, because everybody got a fucking crown now.
So I mean,
every
bitch
made
your
is
Luke.
wearing a crown these days, and I'm looking at you, Mufasa. I was like, this bitch on the cover of magazines with a crown. I was like, I did that. That was me.
So I'm not gonna say anything.
You know they all stole from me.
Mufasa. James Lee. Jack.
Lil Jack.
Ramy. They all stole.
I am the originator of rock and roll. No.
So let's see what else. We have a drag extravaganza at Red Bear Brewing also on Saturday. We have a Bearskin party. We have a Brute at the DC Eagle. So there's tons of stuff. Right. Tons of stuff going on Saturday. Also on Sunday, we have the Onyx Fellowship Dinner. So for all the Onyx brothers that are coming into town, please make sure.
And friends and family.
Yes, please make sure you are in attendance. Absolutely. We're going to be at Hill Country Barbecue, and it's going to be from 5 to 7. So please make sure you hit us up. And you can find our information on the We Are Onyx page.
Yeah, and I am behind the curve. I need to put out a flyer with all of that information. So I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay. Well, we will post that. But that information was put out as well, too. So
yes, but
again,
people
just
have
keep
asked
it
me, and I just want to.
No.
So I'll put
that's
out
fine.
the flyer. You know, the one party that I'm so mad that I can't go to because it's during the gear show
is the foot fetish. Oh, well, that was mine. So I'm just saying.
No, the horse market.
Oh,
I'm so mad because that's it's at the exact same time as the gear show. So I follow Horse Market on Twitter. And
is that the one that K9 was talking about? That's the party?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Where everyone, so you sign up either as a stallion or as a mare, and you figure out what that means. So that it's a sex party, and I'm just mad because I had first discovered this because the whole idea of the horse market originated in Germany, in Berlin, and I was intrigued by it. And they've had them all across the country. So this is the first time it's been in D.C. They've had them in Chicago. Of course, they've had them in San Francisco and L.A. And I was super excited. I was following them on Twitter, and they was talking about they were going to have one during MAL. And we had been talking about this for like a couple of weeks. And then they said, it's Saturday from 2 to 6. And I'm like, no!
I'm waiting to end scene. End scene. Okay.
So I was like, oh, damn. So, so of course, I have responsibilities, so I can't skip the...
I'm trying to figure out how we can even... Well, we can't even do... Well, yeah. No.
No, we can't. We just can't go.
Just can't go.
So, but they are having one during Dory. So as soon as they set the exact date and time, I'm gonna be like the first person to sign up. So I'm gonna be good and ready. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
And there's like limited space and they've got a guest list that's they've got a waiting list that's like 100 people deep. So if you're like person number 99, that means like a ton of people would have to decide not to show up at the last minute in order for you to go. So.
That is awful. Yeah, hey Rick, what's going on? There's also a few other things that's going on too. We also have karaoke at the Ugly Mug for those brothers that are still in town and people that are.
Is that on Sunday?
That's still going to be here. Stop at the Ugly Mug. It's two of Onyx own 007 and Onyx Grey Owl will be hosting karaoke along with Ebony Pyramids, and so they were asking for brothers that are in town to show up in your leather. So show up and show out at karaoke. So they sent a flyer, and we need to post that out there as well. But again, come on through on Sunday, and it starts at 8 and goes until midnight on Sunday.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. And goes until midnight. So there's also what else? Roar that's going on Sunday. There's Flash Leather Edition at Flash DC. There's Bluff Tea at DC Eagle, and then there's also the Reaction, the official MAL closing dance that's going on as well. So there's tons of things that's going on this MAL weekend. And I want people to make sure they know everything is available, everything is open to them. And I want to also just take this time to send a special shout out to the Highwaymen, and I'm sorry, not the Highwaymen, to the Centaurs, because they are actually throwing this event, and they have a lot of people that are volunteering.
Yeah, and this is entirely volunteer staff.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the volunteers who from Centaurs who are making this happen, as well as the hotel staff.
Yes.
Let's remember that these people are here to work, but they are not here to take your abuse.
Shit.
And everything might not go exactly as planned. Your room might not be ready exactly when you want. Mm-hmm. But also, let's look at this. This isn't like a normal hotel weekend.
Right.
Where most people, like on a normal Saturday, people might sleep in and hang out a little bit till like 9 and then leave the rooms. There's going to be a ton of people who are in their room very late because, one, either they stayed up all night fucking or they're up early fucking, and then they're not going to leave their room till 2 or 3. So their the hotel housekeeping staff's whole schedule.
It's almost on 24-hour. It's
right,
almost a 24-hour rotation.
So if your room isn't clean, right when you want, don't berate the hotel staff. It's not their fault that, they're working as fast as they can.
Yes.
Don't be mad about what they're doing
and listen,
in terms of access to the
they
hotel.
Are also,
it's because you girls try to get 500 people in the elevator, and then you're like, why the elevator broke down? Because
you got 9,000 people in the elevator.
Right, they tell you the weight limit, but that doesn't mean you can't keep pushing it right up to the weight limit. They also talk about hotel access. Well, the hotel is a business. They have liabilities
Absolutely.
And things, and they just can't continue to let completely random people who aren't staying in the hotel have access. In a normal hotel, for like a big event like this, you can't just wander around freely like that. Also, last year, this happened to one of our pledges, got a laptop stolen because, housekeeping, they're cleaning a bunch of rooms. They had a door open. While they had the door open, someone sneaks in and steals something. So now they've put in place policies to protect you and your valuables.
Yep.
So just be nice to people
this
weekend and tip the bartenders at all of the bars.
Tip your cleaning staff.
Tip your cleaning staff.
Because these men and women are coming through with rubber gloves and walking into situations that they are probably anticipating, but probably really don't want to see. So please tip your cleaning staff.
Right.
Please. So, and I know a lot of you are coming through to do all types of tomfoolery and fuckery and nonsense. I mean, I'm here for it.
Without rubber sheets and everything.
Well, yeah. So
just laying in it.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, I get it. But, it is what it is. But, so yeah. And so that brings me to this. This is another point that I wanted to bring up. Mm-hmm. There was a post by one of our Onyx brothers that he posted something about the weekend notes on MAL.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm going to read this post. It said, it's from our brother Otter DX. He said, those attending MAL, be aware of your social anxiety and trigger warnings. It will probably be in your best interest to not place your situations on others, but rather be accountable for yourself. The lobby and vendor halls can be very overwhelming for some, and if you feel uncomfortable about the situation, remove yourself from the situation. Furthermore, consent is a thing, and if you feel you're being violated, say no and remove yourself. Or speak to the proper people who can handle the situation and go on about your business. Letting a few minutes of a bad experience bring you down. I'm sorry, letting a few minutes of a bad experience should not bring you down or others around you the entire weekend. These leather events are what you make of them. It's not up to others to dictate your enjoyment. With that said, let's have a great MAL. Special shout out to the Centaurs again for, such an amazing weekend. Mm-hmm. So, our brother is probably, he has a very strong Facebook presence, both good and bad and controversial and not. But I kind of agree with some of this, with the majority of stuff that he actually has put in his post. Yeah. And it was very fitting for this. And,
now, some of the girls, I've never understood the concept of hate following people. Like you said, when you say controversial, I saw people who took a screenshot of what he posted and then talked shit about it. I was like, so is that what you girls do these days?
They're keyboard gangsters.
They're keyboard gangsters. Two, why would someone who they know had to follow Otter and screenshot this in order to do that? And I was like, what? what is the point of hate following somebody? If I don't like you and I don't fuck with you,
then
I
don't fucking follow you. Like, don't follow them, and if you don't like, don't unfollow me.
Right. I've seen this behavior before, and then I'm like, I want to say to them, it's like, whoever it is that you're mad at, they're living their best fucking life.
Yeah, like,
they don't give a fuck about what you have to say, because one, you aren't man, woman, or person enough to say whatever it is to their face, and you're not even, you have already prejudged everything this man is going to say. So therefore, even if there are parts of it that with which you think could have been worded better, or that you don't agree with it, you're immediately going to go to this posture of open hatred and dislike, but you're openly hating and disliking someone who don't even know that you have a problem with them and probably don't give a fuck. So what is the point of you raging in the void against this? I mean, some of what I agree with probably 75%. I agree with 100% of the spirit of what he said. Right. Some of this is a little bit, it's not victim blaming, but there is, the onus is on you to let people know if you're having an issue. The onus is not on everyone else to figure out what your issues are.
That is.
But when that doesn't mean there's no onus on everybody else to sort of respond to you and be like, oh, this is an issue for you. So, and I get that.
So I think part of that is, and I think what I would probably add to this is govern yourself accordingly.
Yeah.
We are not, listen, I mean, this is going to be a very general statement. I'm probably going to get flack for saying this. Mm-hmm. At some particular point, you should be generally cognizant of the people around
cut
you.
This clip and say, "Did you see what Epic Onyx said on that show that they have?"
It's one of those things where it's like, just be cognizant of things that are going on around you. And if you are, for most people, myself included, I can kind of sense when there's something wrong with someone.
Right.
But I can also kind of sense if I've said something that I've upset them, then I may want to address it right then and there, because I don't want to have this conversation later on. And I very well could be maybe drunk or whatever, and I may have missed it. Bring it to my attention later on. But for the most part, I can pretty much tell, oh, maybe I should have said that. Let me apologize, or let me take myself out of the situation, or let me address this now because I don't want to be an issue later. And I think if most people govern themselves that way, you may not have some of those issues later on.
You need to know what your triggers are. You need to have coping skills to manage your triggers and not expect the entire world to adjust to whatever your issue is.
But you need to not fuck with people. Like, don't push people's buttons. Like, why would you want to do that? Some people do.
Yeah, some people do.
Some people have intentionally.
But I'm gonna use anxiety as an issue. There are some people who have clear anxiety issues. And they already know that, all right, so this and it's like 1 billion people at MAL, and some people is like, I need some alone time. Right. So I'm about to dip.
Right.
Like right now. Right. Not like right in the middle of this conversation. I'm about to dip and go back to my room and hang out, and I need some quiet time. That's cool. But you can't expect everybody else to stop having fun or whatever because you have the issue. Right. We could certainly respect that you're having this thing, and a good friend will check in on you in like in an hour or two, like, are you all right? Yeah. What you need or whatever. But don't expect me to not have fun because you're having an issue. I feel like as a friend, I mean, it depends on the issue. Now, if you're having like something serious, like a medical issue or something, then yeah. But if you're just feeling like you need some quiet time, away from people because you have anxiety, or you don't like to be touched, or any number of issues, it's fine, I think, to expect your friends to understand and be there for you. But to come to an event like this and expect that people without those issues are going to change up how they function in a space so that you can feel comfortable is different. So that's what he's saying. He's like, know what your triggers are, and remove yourself from the situation. So if you can't fuck with a large crowd of people,
be out.
Be out. Don't expect everyone to be like, oh, we're going to give this person a 20-foot bubble space. First of all, everybody don't even know that.
Right.
2, and then the problem is that people will then hop on ML's Facebook page
and start complaining.
Be like, ML was terrible. I was having social anxiety, and no one came to check on me.
And the funny thing is, that's
not
my
everyone's
issue.
responsibility.
That's your issue.
To
you need to
check
that
on
out.
you. That doesn't mean that your friends shouldn't be like, oh, is Epic okay? But everybody else is just is oblivious to what your issue is.
You are one
and your
person.
issue doesn't mean that the event was terrible.
Listen, you're valued, but you are one person amongst a sea of
literally 20,000
people. Or 20, yeah. But again, you're one. So listen, and me at this particular point, my patience is so short. I'm kind of like, all right, y'all. Go on.
I feel like there's a subset of people who have some severe or significant, issues with anxiety.
Well, yes, they do.
Personal
and we
space
have
or
some
whatever.
brothers and sisters
then,
that
so
are
I'm like,
the siblings that are.
Maybe these are kind of events that you shouldn't show up at. Then.
Yeah, we have some siblings that have some of those issues, and listen. Because I've now understand and I've grown to be, I've grown to care more and understand based on what they're going through. I am going to check on them. Those that I will,
the ones that I know of, but
also that I know of.
But I'm not going to spend the entirety of the
I'm
weekend
not stopping anything for on you.
No. I'm gonna be like, all right, if you, I will make sure you're okay. Like, are you in the room?
Great.
You're in the room. Good. I'm gonna check on you
because
in about
I'm going
3
back.
hours.
I'm gonna go. Right. I gotta go. But I'll listen.
And if you want me to sit in the
room,
room
send me a text message
and sit and
because that's not gonna happen.
No, because I pay my money.
You can send me a text message, tell me what you want, and I'll bring it back to you. That's because I'm not.
And
I'm not
legit, if you
are you dying? Because let me call 911.
If your issues with personal space and being touched, and I don't mean like being grope touched,
right?
But like even like being in an elevator,
right,
with people and whatnot, then this isn't the kind of event for you.
You may want to,
because it's just unrealistic that everyone is going to walk around with this 20-foot bubble. You're not the queen. There's not a bubble. Well, you might be a queen. But you're not the queen. So there's not going to be this bubble of space around you, everywhere that you go. And we're not going to be like, is the room clear? We're not going to clear everyone out of the leather market so that you can go and see everything without being touched. So I was just amused at the way that the girls was going in.
I am
on this.
Dying!
It is not that hot in here anymore. You're sitting here. You have on gray sweat pants and a gray sweat jacket.
We're in the convection oven. I am dying in here. Oh my God!
Don't even entertain it. Don't get
dying.
We're our new engineer. Don't even get that energy.
I'm spitting.
So,
one more thing I forgot to mention as well. I just got word also, and I had the article that we have 2 new nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And that is going to be Whitney Houston and also Biggie got nominated. And there's 9 Inch Nails and a few other people, but those are the 2 big ones that actually were nominated as well. And I meant to mention that, but I didn't mention that earlier.
But I don't appreciate those kinds of nominations because Biggie was, first of all, when Biggie was out, most white people wouldn't even fuck with him. Whitney Houston was, Whitney Houston was crossover, but she's not a rock and roll artist. Janet Jackson, not a rock and roll artist. Like, yeah, there was some white kids, some of the gay kids that fucked with her, but like during Control and Rhythm Nation
she was
and
all
stuff.
Rock, R&B.
Yeah,
very
and
R&B,
so now
very pop.
That in retrospect, white people, it's like, oh, they become acceptable to white people now, so they're qualified for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Well, keep that same energy for, other kinds of artists.
Yeah.
And so I hate this thing that, now, oh, well, he's eligible for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but the music that he put out or she put out wasn't rock music. If it was called the music
Hall of Fame.
Or the American Music Hall of Fame.
That's one thing.
Or because the Beatles wouldn't be in if it was the American Music Hall of Fame. But if it was like the Music Hall of Fame, then I would have less of a problem with it. But to call it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, when these artists weren't rock and roll, and then some of them, particularly hip-hop artists, like Run DMC, Notorious B.I.G., groups like that, were actively shunned by the same community that is now embracing them. It's bullshit to me.
Well, shout out to them. Congratulations. Take it for what it's worth, and they're there at this point.
Good for them. I mean, it's not really going to help either of them because they both dead. So what is? Well, I mean, they're not even going to. At least Janet Jackson can go and whisper and be like, "Thank you so much."
She did. She did that last year.
I'm so glad that
she did.
I'm so thankful for.
Is Ella in there? I just want to make sure.
Why we gotta keep going back to Ella? Ella doesn't need the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She doesn't need the Rock and Roll Hall. She transcends all of that. Anyway, the BGKH Show streams live on Wednesday. The BGKH Show streams live on Wednesdays on www.voxwave.com from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern and 5 to 6 p.m. Pacific. Episodes are available on YouTube every Friday. Just search for Vox Power 373 and look for the BGKH Show with Dominion and Epic. Currently, we can host a live studio audience, so feel free to come and join us, but message us directly for the details.
Because, don't just show up.
Yeah,
don't just show up.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and if you can't be in our audience, you can call and chat with us live at
240.
Oh, is it up here? No, it's not.
It's on that side.
On that side.
240-719-2560.
One more time. 240-719-2560. 240-719-2560. Ow.
Right.
All right. In the meantime, Epic,
how can
the viewers and the listeners get in contact with you?
So you can get in contact with me at Hotbox in the studio. So you can reach me.
Hot Pussy Pauline.
Oh my God. You can reach me. You can find me on Facebook if you search for Epic Onyx. You can also get in touch with me on Instagram if you look up I am Epic Onyx. And you can also find me on Twitter at Epic Onyx1. So how can they reach you, Dominion?
You can reach me at beastlyburlyblackbitch.com. No.
Bam!
Right. I'm waiting for that bitch. Bitch, you know where the fuck I live.
Are they showing up?
I don't know, because I don't know who that bitch is.
No. I just had to think about that. I'm like, you know what, bitch?
Because I told her where I was going to be, but she ain't going to show up.
Listen.
She don't weigh but $105. She got 5
Here's
heads,
the thing.
Lips bigger
I
than
want
her
people
face,
to understand. Well, I'm not even going to say all that because I feel like I'll be issuing threats. I'm not going to do that.
No, we're not making no threats. I'm not making threats. Just know that if you jump, what Brand Nubian say? Punks jump up
to get beat down.
All right. So there's that. And in the words of the legendary Coco Alliance, I can bring it, so you better bring it. And you better carry. Anyway, so at Dom Onyx on Twitter and Instagram, facebook.com/dominion.onyx, and www.domonyx.com. So before we go, I just want to ask you quickly, what did you think of Billy Porter's ensemble?
I'm laughing only because I just saw a meme that said who wore it better. And it was between Billy Porter in that green jumpsuit and Aretha Franklin in his green jumpsuit.
I was not feeling...
I hollered. But okay.
5 seconds.
So I didn't get it. I thought it was overdone, and I thought it was unnecessary. And it looked very uncomfortable, let me be clear.
It looked unfinished. It was just like, boxy and square in the front.
It wasn't...
Someone said it looked like a Junior Mint.
Or Gumby.
Yeah,
light-skinned Gumby.
Yeah.
But that's just my own thing.
God bless
and I
his
think Billy's a little over the top for me with some things. Even though the black was classic.
Them Special and Kai are so fancy. These bitches said, "See y'all soon. I'm on the train to MAL." Yes, God.
Oh my God, I love y'all. Y'all so fancy.
Okay,
I love
like
y'all.
we was on the. Oh, anyway, so thank y'all for coming out. God, our engineers wrap it up. Right.
I'm delirious from the heat. I don't know when time to end it.
Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you and good night. Goodbye.
Mwah.